man.
Excellent beginning. I couldn't have planned that better myself.
Awesome. So, hey, here we are again.
Yes, we're
sitting
doing
here. Yeah, we're doing it, man. We're doing it. So, doing another podcast episode here. Just going to talk a little bit about what we've been up to, some of the strategies that we've been learning about.
Yeah.
And how we're applying them to this specific industry. And this should be a really interesting topic because this industry is so. I don't want to call it a dinosaur, but if the shoe fits.
Yeah, well, I think there's just a lot of opportunity in this industry with the way technology is adapting these days, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's an exciting time because there's a lot of younger people now starting to take over these companies and they're starting to implement a little bit more of a new age marketing strategy.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in this shift. And I've seen it with a few companies, and I've talked to, online and doing similar things to what we're doing.
Right.
Right. So I like to think that we kind of paved the way about 5 years ago in YouTube. For all you guys watching out there, you're welcome.
You're such an inspiration.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. But, it is fun to watch. It is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I know of at least 2 or 3 other companies now that are starting to do the things that we're doing. So, it's obviously, as running our marketing.
Right.
We're starting to utilize the social platforms a little bit more.
For sure.
Which is, like I said, it's kind of a new wave, if you will, in this industry. Hasn't been done a whole lot, or at least hasn't been done properly.
Yeah.
Throughout and over the years. So
I think because of that was a lot of the reason I was excited to get going with a lot of this in the first place, because I think we act like social media the way it is now has been around forever, but I mean, if we went back to even 2012 or 2013, it was light years away from where it is like right now. So we kind of take it for granted of what it's become, and it's kind of it's super exciting for me being a marketing guy, having this industry, like you said, that we don't want to call it a dinosaur, but whatever you want to call it.
Call it a white space.
Let's call it a white space. A white space is perfect. But having this opportunity to take all of these different strategies that have come about and really, finally utilize them in an industry that's not already oversaturated, because that's the biggest thing for me is when it comes to like SaaS, service as a software as a service companies and things like that, there's a lot of companies that have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's finally an opportunity to just take this whole thing and really test it from the beginning and really move it forward.
Absolutely, and it's exciting to be able to be a part of that, and I don't know what's going on behind me, but I'm pretty sure it's probably pretty funny.
It is kind of funny.
This happens every time, Jake.
Yes, I feel like they know I'm the one facing the glasses.
It is. It's exciting. It's different. It's fun. And I think you were onto something. 2012, 2013, this stuff existed.
Yeah.
But really, the only people in the space were marketers at that time because they knew. I mean, they knew. And now they've saturated it so much.
For sure.
Which is great, but it oversaturates a lot of the other industries where it hasn't really gotten its claws into the service industry yet. So that's where we come in.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm like I said before, I'm just super excited because there's all of these opportunities to take things like video and this podcast and even social media and Instagram and kind of segment them into different categories and identify different parts of not only this business but this industry and kind of showcase them in a light that has really never been done before within this industry. And it's really cool because I think with social media going the way it's going, it's people are sort of following companies and industries that they have nothing to do with, just because they're actually getting a look into what it's like to be in that industry. Where before, where if you heard of a service company like ours, you can make guesses on what we do, but now we can actually show people, and
especially like ours.
Especially like ours, yeah, because we're behind the scenes in places where people go every day. I mean, a lot of these chain restaurants and stadiums that we work in, people go there and say you go to a baseball game at Chase Field and you buy a hot dog and a pop or a beer or whatever, and you go back to your seat and you never think anything of it, but you don't realize a lot of the work and the things behind the scenes that take not only to make that product, but also to keep the equipment running efficiency, to make sure that when somebody goes to that stand, there's always something available for them.
Just to be clear, Jake is not comparing what we do to how they make hot dogs, because that's fucking gross.
You want to get into that for a minute? I can play a video.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Really. No, but
do not YouTube how to make hot dogs.
But I mean, honestly, you're absolutely right. The transparency is what I think attracts people, and if you want to go even deeper than that, it's providing value. And that is I think that's where we stand out a little bit. The marketing, call it marketing. The marketing that we do is really just showing people what we do on a daily basis, or talking about what we do on a daily basis.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily designed to sell a specific product. We're not sitting here saying, hey, use Windy City, we're the best company out there.
Right.
We're talking about the industry. We're having real conversations about what it takes, like my YouTube series, for example, how to run a service company, how to be a good tech, how to perform PMs, I mean, and how to, all the how-to videos with like, the repairs and things like that.
Yeah.
It's about connecting to people with what they think they want to know, or what they don't know they want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What they don't know they want to know. That's the biggest part for me.
I think it is, because it is. There's something intriguing about knowing, how a company operates. I wish that we've been documenting like this for the last, 10 years, because they would be able to see us bring a $250,000 a year company up to almost a $6 million a year company.
For sure.
And that would be exciting to watch.
Right.
I don't care who it is. I don't care what your interests are.
Yeah.
If your only interest is just business itself, that'd be exciting to watch, to see how you got to point A to point B to point C.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the same time, it's providing value, because even if we don't really know what we're doing while we're doing it, to a point, we're making the mistakes that you can watch.
Right.
And we're teaching you in a way that, hey, don't do this.
Right.
This is why.
Yeah.
And this is what we did and how. And it's just, it's intriguing. It's fun. As long as, what is that? What does that sound? What does that sound?
That was not a cell phone ringing. It was definitely not that.
How dare you?
Well, that's the business you're talking about operating as we speak, though. That's really what it is.
That is true. Actually, speaking of which, was that a customer?
No, that was somebody trying to get me to buy something.
Oh, really? Okay. Speaking of marketing.
Yeah, yes, directly relating to that.
All right, cool. Great. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying is that what we're doing here and what everybody is transitioning to isn't necessarily to market a specific product or idea. It's to inform and provide value, and in the process, people gain interest.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it is now.
Yeah, and this line of thinking is really beat to death in the modern marketing world. But we're just telling the story of this business, of the day to day, of what's going on. And I mean, really, something that's becoming my favorite part, and something we implemented today, is utilizing this little bit of this cast of characters that we have here within the business. You said it yourself. People are getting to watch a company to go from $250,000 a year to almost $6 million a year. But not only that, they get to see the people that are directly involved in making that happen. I mean, any of these people that work in this building every day, if you ran into them, out shopping in a grocery store or something, you would have no idea who they are or what they do. But utilizing social media and video and telling these stories of what we're up to, we can show every person that works within this business their little bit of their piece of the pie that is directly helping helping this business grow into what it's becoming.
Absolutely. Everybody has a place here. Everybody has a specific job, a specific duty, and I think there's a lot of value in that because when people look at this logo, I mean, you guys listening can't see, but there's a big fucking WCE on the TV.
Right.
And when people see this logo, I don't want them to say, "Oh, what does that business do?"
Right.
I want them to say, "What do those people do?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it happens too often. People relate, brands, I think, to businesses.
Yep.
And business as an entity itself is nothing.
Right.
Without the people in it.
Yep.
And so I think that's the biggest key is showing what makes the business an actual business, and what is that? It's the people inside it.
Yeah, for sure. and we're in a time where we can do that in a way that's never been done pretty much in human history. You know what I'm saying?
I know, and it's cheap.
I know, it's so easy too. I mean, I guess it's easy to some people, but can you imagine if however many years ago, like if you could watch McDonald's develop their assembly line and turn that into what it was from the did you watch the movie The Founder?
Oh, I love that movie.
Can you imagine being able to watch that like in real life though and see that develop? Well, today you can do that and companies are doing that and we're literally doing that right now.
I know, right? Hashtag Ray Kroc's kind of a dig.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but great, cool movie.
Yeah.
And very smart strategy.
Right.
I can't take that away from him.
No.
It's kind of dickish.
Yeah, a little bit. Aren't they all though?
But no, I mean, and you're absolutely right. I mean, if I had the opportunity to actually see, not just watch the movie, but actually see, how they developed it, and we were able to document. If the foundation and the building of McDonald's was on Instagram, it'd be the best story ever.
It would be the best story ever. That's really it too.
Yeah.
No,
it's very cool. And actually, on the point of people and getting people involved and everybody having a specific duty, we've got a great example. We just turned our Twitter account over to Charlie, who works in our shipping and receiving department, which is a little bit scary.
A little bit.
So I take no responsibility for our Twitter account over the next few weeks. The first thing he said actually was at Donald Trump. I was like, wait.
Literally the first sentence he said when you gave it to him.
But but that's empowering people to share a piece of themselves with everything that we're doing.
Yes.
And I think that there's so much value in that because, even though they're contributing based on their job description and their day-to-day duties here, this helps make everybody feel like more of a part of what is actually going on.
Yep.
And that's key because you want people to come to work. You want people to want to come to work.
Yeah.
And do what they do on a daily basis and enjoy what they do.
Right.
So, little tiny things like that, although there might be some liability involved.
Yeah, we'll see as time plays out, I'm expecting a little bit.
But I think he already tweeted at Guy Fiero.
Yeah, for the record, at Windy City AZ.
at Windy City AZ. Yeah, that's right. So, and just to be clear, that red car in that in one of our tweets with a hose through the moonroof was his.
That was his car.
Never mind. No.
Well, no, I just think it's going to be interesting to see how things turn out because of that, though, because it's step one. We just went to Digital Summit Phoenix at the Phoenix Convention Center, which we'll get into a little bit more in a second here. But they talked a lot about, like you said, empowering the people in this building to be a part of helping us tell that story. Yeah. So there's so many things we can do. Today we let Charlie take over the Twitter account, but tomorrow we could let one of our technicians take over the Instagram account and utilize the stories to show what they're doing in the field every day. Because you know what? We show a lot of what we do in the office because we're in the office. You're the CEO, I do the marketing, we're here, day in and day out. But, what our business is the field work. Our customers, when they think of our business, they don't think of us in this office. They think of our technicians
That's right.
in their business, fixing their things and keeping it running efficiently. So if we can utilize, some of our more tech-savvy technicians and encourage them to take these things over and help us share the story of our business through sharing their actual story of their day. I mean, really, it's something that's amazing that we can even do.
Absolutely, it's intriguing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't care who you are. You kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just want to see at least what it's about. Maybe you're not interested once you start watching it, but you know, you at least have that thought process. Man, you know, I kind of wonder what a technician, refrigeration technician
Right.
or a commercial cooking equipment technician does on a daily basis.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff too that customers don't always see.
Right.
You know, and here's the truth of the matter, and this is exactly what it is. You know, this entire business exists because of the work we do in the field, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but a lot of people, I think, fail to account for all the costs and everything that are associated excuse me, in the back office.
Mm-hmm.
It's the technicians that are on the front line every day
Yep.
that are paying for this office, these computers, that camera right there.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and all the phone systems and the entire office staff. And
For sure.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if people had a little bit more insight into, you know, why and how this all ties together,
Yeah.
you know, they'll actually, kind of understand our rates better. I guess. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, you know, I digress. Digital Summit. Right.
Yeah. But no, really, you know, coming full circle, that's what this is all about. You know, when we began the year with a goal that you and I set to, you know, the goal wasn't based around numbers or likes or followers. The goal was to tell the story of what we're doing here.
Yep.
And the reason we went to Digital Summit Phoenix was to get a little bit of a better handle, get some of the most modern techniques and ideas available, and learn how to utilize those into our strategy to do a better job of telling the story.
Right.
And I mean, personally, I had a great time there. It was awesome.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, not only, you know, we got to watch some world-class speakers. I mean, the CEO of GoDaddy was there. You know, Brian iSocial Fanzo was there, who I've been following on Snapchat for like 3 years. You know, we got to watch them speak and tell their story of how they're utilizing these technologies
Absolutely.
to advance businesses.
And there was a massage table in the VIP room and an open bar.
yes, and that also was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a lot of fun. They made it a fun environment, but
Yeah.
very informative.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
all these speakers that they had there are clearly, just masters of their craft.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's who you want to learn from. And,
Yeah.
and those are the strategies that I want to extract, you know, to be able to, like you said, tell a better story
Yep.
here at Windy City. Whether people watch or not, at least the story will be out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if nothing else, I'll die a happy man knowing that my story and all of our story was documented for my children
Right.
or my grandchildren.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If they can watch it, this was a success.
Honestly, doesn't that seem like the big picture theme of what Digital Summit was? That was really it. You know, it's not only doing it for the business and for the people here, but it's for our families. I mean, our kids could someday get to watch us work. Like literally right now, they'll get to watch us working and see what we did and hear us talking about utilizing these very, 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 very new technologies, you know, to be able to do something different. And I mean, I could never imagine watching my dad when I was a kid actually watch him work. So it's so weird.
On
you know?
on that note, Neva, I love you, and I hope you're being good, and I hope you're not a teenager right now. I hope you never become a teenager.
Don't ever do it. Do not do it. That's awesome. But I mean, no, we got to. Like, what was really exciting for me.
And Veda too. She's not born yet. But
She's not born
she
yet.
would be pissed if I forgot about her.
Yeah. I like how you snuck that in there. Very nice. You almost would have heard about that one.
Yeah.
And I would have used this as blackmail because I know where to find it on YouTube. To be like, look at here. You're only 1 month away, 2 months away from being born. He knew you were coming.
That's exactly right.
No, that's funny. But no, but like I was saying, you know, we got to actually, these are people that I've seen in magazines and seen on social media on YouTube, and we got to watch. You know, the best part was we got lucky enough to be able to sit front row for everything, so we got super lucky.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I want to talk about is Grant Simmons. He was an awesome dude that we accidentally.
What's up, Grant?
Yeah, what's up, Grant? we accidentally made a really intriguing connection with him. You know, like you were saying, we got to go into the VIP section. Where there was a massage and open bar, which was fun. And there was a guy sitting at a table alone by himself. And all of the other tables were, you know, filled with people that obviously were already clicked up and hanging out. So this was the only table with enough seats for our whole little clan to be able to sit down at. And he welcomed us with open arms. And we got to conversating and asking him, you know, about what he was up to. And for the first hour that we spoke with him, we didn't even realize he was a speaker.
Had no idea.
No idea.
The nicest guy in the world. Super funny.
Yeah, and it turns out, you know, he's the head of search for homes.com.
Yeah.
And the next day, you know, we carried on and we got to sit front row for a speech, and it was one of the most impassioned speeches of the whole conference.
Yeah, definitely in my top 3.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I won't tell you which one it is.
Yeah, for the sake of being not taking sides.
No, it was cool, you know,
Yeah.
and we got to not only see him, but then, you know, the other people that were there too.
Yep.
You know, and you were able to talk closely with who was it, Brian Fanzo?
Yeah, Brian Fanzo from iSocial
Yeah.
Fans, which was super cool because you know, a lot of my personal branding stuff is based around like people always ask me how I get into the opportunities I do, and I'm always just like, I just asked, man. You know, like I just asked people,
Right.
and I reached out to him on his website, like, hey, I have a vlog, and we make YouTube videos, and we're gonna be there, and you know, can I interview you for 15 minutes? And he hit me back in like an hour and a half, and he was like, yes, I'll do it. And so out of the couple thousand people were probably there enjoying the thing. I didn't see anyone else personally. I mean, I guess I wasn't looking that close, but you know, we actually got to sit down with the keynote speaker and interview him about exactly, you know, what we were there to learn about. And,
Yeah.
and you know, I think that was pretty cool. The video's on the Windy City YouTube page, so we could check that out. But no, I just thought it was awesome. But we really got to dive deep into a lot of these strategies that we talked about at the beginning of the year of employing. I don't know what that was.
Somebody's screaming.
Somebody's yelling at
It's
something.
probably fine.
You never know if it's a happy scream or an angry scream around here. It could go either way sometimes.
It's always happy.
It's always happy.
It's always a great day at Windy City. That's what I say every day to everybody that works here.
Best day of my life.
Best day of my life. How's it going today, Josh? Best day of my life.
You do literally say that every single day.
I know. Every single day is the best day of my life.
So you're not just humoring us?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
every single day is one day longer I've been on this planet, and I gotta say, you know, I'm grateful for that. It's a gratitude thing. You know, so every day you meet me is the best day of my life.
Yeah, because
So.
you're still alive. We'll save your irrational fear of death for another podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
That's awesome. Okay, so at the beginning of the year, you know, we set down a marketing strategy to talk about, you know, what we wanted to do, and you know, we talked about utilizing an email newsletter, social media, and this podcast, and it seemed like everything that we went to at Digital Summit, we can relay back to what we're trying to do right now. You know, the first thing, I went there a little bit earlier than you guys because there was a 4-hour super immersive workshop on email marketing, and really for me that's the big thing going forward for this year is our newsletter. So if you guys aren't on it, make sure to you know, go to our Facebook page. On the side it says sign up for the newsletter. But why I was really excited about that is that's sort of like, I look at the newsletter as sort of like the one spot where you can catch the highlight reel of what we're doing every week or every month with all of our platforms.
Right, exactly. Because, you know, I mean, you can follow one, you can follow another, and, you know, but it's hard. You can't look at them all at the same time. You're going to miss stuff, you know.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Just, it's part of the game. It's part of what happens. But, yeah, with the newsletter, definitely. It
Yeah.
keeps it all in one spot.
It's kind of the highlight reel.
That's right.
Which is super cool because, you know, I really like it because we do a lot of content. There's all kinds of videos. There's multiple podcasts and everything else that we're doing, all of the Instagram photos and everything. And we can take it all and put it all out in one place and push that out into, you know, our whole email list, which is pretty strong. It's a few thousand people right now.
Is
you
it
know,
really?
Yeah, it's already, we went over 2,000 today. So
Oh, sweet.
it's growing really fast, you know, considering that we started it essentially at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, right. Nice.
So what I really like about the email and what I liked about what we learned at Digital Summit was really, people want to use email as like the traditional newsletter, and we don't have to. We use social media and we use this podcast to not only tell our story of the business, but to accentuate our personalities and who we are. The laughing we're doing right now on this podcast, is exactly it. But we don't have to be stuffy in the newsletter. It doesn't have to be just a highlight reel of like, here's everything we're working on this week. Click on it if you like it. But they really encourage to use witty headlines and to be funny in it. And the biggest thing for me was there was like a whole 15-minute section just on emojis. Which, I mean, what's the most like 2018 thing of all time is a whole section on emojis.
Oh my God, I know. And on that note, my daughter's obsessed with this movie called The Emoji Movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's actually pretty funny.
Is it?
It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy, that essentially over the last 5 years, a brand new language has been formed. Like, how often in human history do you get to watch a new way of speaking and a new language get born right in front of your eyes? And that's what emojis are. We could have a whole conversation just using emojis and know exactly what we're talking about.
We should do that.
We should do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Let's do that. We'll save that for a future YouTube video.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if people can decipher what we're saying, what we're talking about.
Ooh, we should use the Slack channel.
Oh, yeah. Slack is a great tool, by the way, if you guys don't use it. Slack is awesome.
I'm getting away from the podcast, and this is going into real life things.
Yeah.
But we should have an emoji-only Slack channel.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up.
Put a pin in that. We'll develop that one. You can only imagine because...
I'm sorry, Mr. Customer. I used the poop emoji. It means that your equipment's shit.
Yeah. Maybe we'll save that for internal only. But our guys have a habit of making their own emojis, so that could get very interesting very fast. But we'll probably go into this a bunch in this conversation, but I think what it keeps coming back to is just allowing yourself to open up and just be more personal. So I think going forward with the newsletter, we'll do a little bit more of that. It doesn't have to be just a highlight reel, but it could be different looks into different things. So we'll do a lot of testing and seeing what works and what doesn't, and utilizing. There's a whole feature on there of polls just to ask people which part of the newsletter they like and what don't, and there's segmenting. So when people click on things, it puts them into different categories, so you can figure out who likes what and to retarget the things they like towards those individual people. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that all pans out over the year.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with that. People are attracted to authenticity. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So as much as, and for all of you listening out there, take very close note of this. There's so many people that are just afraid, to express how they really feel or who they really are, because, there's a question there. Are they going to be accepted? Are people going to like them? And is it socially acceptable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people are attracted to the realist of the bunch. The more real you are, and my dad would be a perfect example of this because he's the most real person I know. Right? Anybody who has ever talked to my dad will vouch for that. It's the same 3 conversations every single time you talk to him. Politics, the Bears, right, and the Blackhawks.
Occasionally Barstool Sports.
Yeah, right. So is that thing still recording? You think?
Yeah, it definitely is. But I'll time out.
Yeah, time out.
Good call. We have a minute and a half, so I've been watching.
Oh, nice.
Have you noticed me noticing or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just I kind of was looking at my clock too. Our camera only does records 30 minutes at a time. I didn't spring for the good model, so it'll have to do.
We have a Panasonic Lumix G7. If anyone knows anybody at Panasonic, if they would like to send us up a model or two, have them hit us up at jake@windycityaz.com.
Nice. Well played, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So and now let's get back on track a little bit to what we're doing here. one of the reasons we went to Digital Summit was obviously to learn the new strategies and really just kind of get a better handle and a better grip on the space and how to navigate it.
Yeah.
Next week we've got another conference coming up on we're going to be, what is it, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
It's called RIFMA, Restaurant Facility Management Association. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a national conference.
National conference.
Yeah.
Facility managers from all over the country are going to be coming in, and we've got a booth there. We're going to be exhibiting. It should be a lot of fun. I think we're going to do things have a little bit different style booth.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we give away the secret now, or should we?
I think we could do it now. If you're listening to the podcast and you're going to be at Riffman, now's the perfect time to do it.
That's true. All right. So here's the thing: we are going to be broadcasting the podcast from RIFMA. We're going to be doing podcasts in our booth, and we're going to be live on the social networks as much as humanly possible that day.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to be limited to like Facebook and Instagram, so we're not sitting here with like a phone tree in front of our face the whole time.
Although we have the capabilities.
Yeah, but for those of you wondering what RIFMA is or anything like that, it should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of different personalities there. There's going to be a lot of different discussions, topics. It's going to be a great experience, and we're going to try to document as much as we can.
Yeah.
About it, and it should be great.
Well, what I'm really excited about is almost literally, if you've ate at a chain restaurant in the last 10 years, almost any chain restaurant, their representatives are going to be at RIFMA. And that's really what's coming to Phoenix this year is every chain out there from Applebee's to Outback Steakhouse to name it, they're going to be there. So why we're utilizing our technology and some of the things we're doing now is because we want to open up a communication directly with some of these people that we talk about in this podcast and on our videos. When else do you have access to every brand in the restaurant business that you would ever want to, right?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about transparency, what I mean, and changing the perception of the industry, right? That's why we're doing all of this, and trying to really just get people to understand what goes into the facility service, all the the service industry, everything, all the way across the board, and transparency is key, and what better way to show transparency other than documenting exactly what we're doing
everything
at all times, who we're talking to and what we're talking about. I mean, that's really the key. I've been trying to figure this out for a long time. I had this idea in my head. I wrote my manifesto for the company. And I had this idea in my head that there was something we were missing. There was something wrong. And the perception of this industry is it just seems to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's been bugging me for, how long have I been a part of this company now? 10 years, 9 years, 10 years, something like that.
Okay.
Probably since day 2.
Right.
It's been on my mind that I could never pinpoint it. I always knew there was something missing. So then I figured out, okay, it's a perception issue, and then for another 7 years, I was like, well, how do we change it?
Right.
How do you change the perception of something? That's a tough question to ask. That's a tall order.
It's like, how can one person do that, right?
Exactly. Or how can even a team of people do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. But it turns out that the answer was right in front of me the entire time. Even when I started doing the YouTube videos, I didn't see it.
Yep.
But the answer is transparency.
Yeah.
The answer is watch us.
Yes.
Listen to us.
Yep.
Look at us.
Yes.
And it's just, that's it. If people understood, because there's a lot of companies in this industry that are very secretive about what they do.
Yeah.
Very secretive about prices, very secretive about procedures and operations and, staff. I mean, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of mystery to this industry. And I think that's the bottom line. People fear what they don't know.
Yeah.
So
you said it.
Why not show them? It's so simple.
It's the easiest thing of all time, right?
You think.
Yeah, well,
I think, like I said before, more and more companies are starting to figure this out.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, because they're on our side.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're all going to be the reason that people start to change their perception of the business.
yes. No, I mean, for sure. We talk about it all the time, especially off camera and off of the podcast, that, the reason we're doing this, I mean, this podcast isn't called the Windy City Equipment Podcast. We're not talking about what we're doing, and we're not trying to say, hey, call us and buy our service and we'll come fix your stuff. We're not doing that.
Right.
We're doing this because this is more than just us and our
Absolutely.
business. Is we're doing this because we care about this entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of opportunity to, like you said, to just be transparent and just have the conversation, because it's the conversation that really gets the whole thing going in the first place.
Yep.
And
Just like you said, ask, right?
yeah, you just have to ask,
Just
right?
ask.
And that's the big thing. And going back to RIFMA, we finally have an opportunity to use this platform of this podcast to invite some of these people from these chains and actually talk to them about their perceptions about this industry personally, and open up that conversation. Because like you said, a lot of these businesses have been secretive about their practices and how they do things.
Yep.
And I mean, when else has there been an opportunity for both sides to finally meet in the middle, kind of on neutral ground, and just have the conversation?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just it. So, and on that topic too, of trying to find out what these guys and what their perception is of
Yeah.
service, because they deal with service companies more than anybody else in the country.
Yeah.
They probably have a little bit better of an idea of what goes into it, but we don't really know that either, right? So why
Right.
not find out?
Yeah.
So, we actually created a questionnaire. So as long as they fill it out, they're entered to win a 55-inch curved TV and
pretty sweet, too.
Xbox One, bunch of other prizes, but we're doing that so we can all work together to fix it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
To get the word out there, because it doesn't have to be goddamn service companies or
Yep.
stupid facility managers. No, it doesn't have to be that.
It's easier than that.
We're both working towards the same thing. We have the same goals.
Yep.
So why not share, our thoughts, our opinions, our why not work as closely together as possible to
Right.
make it all flow? I'm sorry, I kind of
You said it all. No, man, you said it all. I mean, really, that's what the goal is. And yeah, these conferences are traditionally sales things, but I just feel like to us it's more than that. It's about expanding the network and expanding the whole perception, man. I mean, I'm just excited to just have these conversations. I mean, there's literally, I don't know, I think it's hundreds or over a couple thousand maybe. There's going to be a ton of people that are all in the same business, but from every side of that business, from vendors and equipment and the restaurants themselves. Everybody's going to be there. So I just I'm looking forward to for us to just have the opportunity to kind of be the people in the middle, to be like, hey, you come over here. We just want to have a conversation.
Right.
So pretty
That's
excited.
Me too. Definitely exciting. We should probably get this wrapped up pretty soon here. I
Yeah.
got some stuff I got to finish.
Well,
up.
I think you said it all, man.
Did I? I don't know.
Well, you did a pretty good job.
All right. Anything I missed, we'll do on the next episode.
Yeah, no, the big thing is like you said, we have a lot of people. This podcast has really been gaining momentum over the last few weeks.
I think so.
We haven't released one in over a week, and I checked the numbers today, and in the last 5 days, like a couple hundred people have listened to the podcast with, pretty limited. We've been so busy getting ready for everything we've been doing. With limited promotion, hundreds of people every week are gaining on it, and so if anyone's at RIFMA and you want to be on the podcast, we're booth 547. Come see us, come say hi. Literally, we wouldn't turn anyone down. Anybody that wants to have a conversation, we're going to be there. We're ready to do that. And if you're not coming to RIFMA, which happens to be in Phoenix this year, like you said, we're going to go live on all the social media. We're going to be, Instagram photos, everything. We're going to be very, very social media heavy Monday and Tuesday of next week. So if you've always wanted to go to RIFMA and you've never been there, the best way to see it from the eyes of people there will be on our social media channels.
That's right. And if you've ever been interested at all in this industry whatsoever, this is your chance to see what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. On that's it for me.
That's it for me.
All right, man. Let's do it again next week.
Sounds good.
All right, later.
Later. To hear more truths, make sure to follow the podcast and subscribe on YouTube and all the popular social platforms. If you're like me and prefer it all in one spot, make sure to sign up for our newsletter by the link below. If there's anything at all you want me to talk about, send me a message, comment, email, find a way to let me know. Be sure to like and share to be part of the solution, and stay tuned to see the industry change one perception at a time.